Hi, my name is Yvonne. I'm 46 years old. I have a disease called PSC, primary sclerosing cholangitis, and I've now been on the liver transplant waiting list at Royal Free Hospital for 9 months. I went on the waiting list on the 14th of December 2012, and I've recently been told that I'm near the top of the waiting list, so I've decided to keep a video diary just to have a memory of the experience and what happened. Hopefully it will be a good one, it won't be too tough, but also it might be a useful thing for other people to see who are on the waiting list and what the experience might be like. So here goes. Right, as part of my preparation for transplant, I had a week in hospital for prep back in November last year, and one of the follow-ups of that was that I needed to have a bag ready at all times because I've got 2 hours when an organ becomes available, a donor is available, to go to hospital. So I've had a bag packed for quite a while, but more recently I've had to just make sure I've got absolutely everything. So I've just got the usual toiletries in there, my pyjamas, my towel, just general bits and pieces just to be good to go on my way to hospital.
Okay. Well, hello, I'm Natalie. I'm Yvonne's daughter, and I'm going to be doing some of the filming when she's post-op and can't do some of the filming for herself. So what else did you have to prepare?
Stuff like, giving the transplant coordinators all your telephone numbers, work telephone number, home telephone number, mobile numbers, so that they can contact you, because as I said, it's like 2 hours to get to hospital, which can feel really sudden, I imagine, and quite scary. I don't know how I'm going to feel at the time. So that's going to feel kind of weird if you're at work and you're in work mode and then having to just leave and get to hospital. So there was that. Making sure that my mobile phone is always got gas on it, and those kind of things really.
How have work responded to that?
They've been really supportive. They've been good. I mean, the team that I work with did know that I had a serious illness and I wasn't very well, but it was quite a big shock to them once I went onto the transplant list and I needed to tell everybody. Some people didn't know, so that if I disappeared one day I was there and then I was missing for several months, they kind of understood what had happened. So that was quite a big shock to the team that I work in. My manager's been really supportive, because as I've been waiting for the day when I'm called, my condition has been deteriorating with PSC. I've been feeling more and more tired. I've had a lot more symptoms, so things have been getting harder and harder at work. But so far I have actually managed to stay in work, even if it's working part-time or working from home on occasions.
How did you feel about going onto the transplant list?
Mixture of emotions, because initially, before even getting to the point of discussing it, my consultant had mentioned it a few times, and I guess I just didn't even feel ready to think about having a transplant. But as my symptoms progressed, I kind of recognised this was something that was going to be inevitable. I'd read up on the disease. I'd also been told that by my liver consultant specialist. So I've just gradually and slowly had to come to terms with the idea. And it does feel quite scary. I'll admit that it does feel quite scary. But that's the reality of my situation. I'm not going to survive without a liver transplant in the long run, and my disease is progressing. So on the one hand it feels quite scary, but on the other hand I'm keeping positive and I'm thinking of life after transplant. I've spoken to a few people who've got my disease and other people and have been transplanted, and they all say that life is so much better afterwards. So I'm looking forward to that time when I won't feel so tired. I'll have more energy, and there'll be lots of things that I can do that I can't do now.
What's your biggest fear about having the transplant, and also what thing are you most looking forward to kind of post-surgery?
I guess my biggest fear is always around, that it's going to be very tough, which I kind of know. Just issues around getting infections, getting rejection. The issue that they mentioned around when they do the op, that maybe the liver won't perfuse and it won't work. But I think I would just take it all in my stride. I think that's the only thing that you can do. I don't think you can get totally obsessed with fears. You've got to be focused, you've got to be positive. And for me, because I'm a religious person, I will also be praying about that and keeping positive and keeping a calm kind of sense in my mind as best I can. Because I think that your emotions, your mind over matter also does have an impact. So psychological well-being is really important as well. Sorry, I forgot the other bit of your question.
What's the thing that you're most looking forward to kind of post-transplant?
I think really, as I'm getting worse with this condition, it feels a bit like hopefully getting your life back. I feel definitely over the last year and longer really, but more so over the last year, that my life's on hold. There's so many things that I can't do. I get very tired. I just struggle with everyday tasks, and you just get to the point where it just feels so hard and you're just kind of fed up with really not being able to do very much at all. So it's about hopefully getting my life back and being able to do the things that I haven't been able to do for such a long time. And even if that's even like walking a couple of miles, which I can't do now, being able to do physical things without being breathless, because even now when I'm talking I can feel myself getting a bit breathless. Just having energy really, because I feel like I have no energy.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.